Greetings, YouTube. I used to play a lot of what ifs in my head. It was something that was born out of trauma and a survival instinct, because I was working in the dark trying to find a strategy that would keep me alive. Because as a kid, I was convinced that if I made a mistake, I would die. Now, I actually don't think my father would deliberately have killed me, but he hit me more than once hard enough that it could have been a result. He split my palate once. I still bear the scar. It was a reality for me, the knowledge that that blow could come out of nowhere at any time. And so I played what if. Well, I tried that, it didn't work, so I'm going to try this thing, I'm going to try that thing, this thing. And of course, I'm searching through a Rolodex of sensible responses to chaos, because there was no pattern. There was no figuring it out, because he was an alcoholic. There was nothing but chaos inside him. And you can't discern chaos. You can't find an answer in it, find a pattern, find a way to work around it. But I used to ponder all the time, what would happen if I'd been born a day later or a day earlier? Would it be different? What happens if my father had been born 15 minutes earlier? Would he be different? No, because his father was an abusive drunk. And if I go back a generation, I can ponder what about my grandfather, and it wouldn't matter because his father was an abusive drunk. As far back as anybody can know, in my family, it's a long line of men who every single one of them was an abusive alcoholic. For all I know, all the way back until the point where alcohol was discovered. We seem to have a certain genetic predisposition to it. It was a familial curse, if you will. And I'm the first generation to break it. Because I didn't become an abusive alcoholic. I didn't become an alcoholic at all. I stopped drinking at 22. I'm 57. It's a long time. I'm not drunk for longer than I did. I started at 14. I ended at 22. So for 8 years, I was a skilled drinker. I was good at it. And I played lots and lots of what-if games. And eventually, when I was no longer with my father, I kind of played them as processing my trauma. And it was almost like my anxiety was letting me play these games, looking for a solution, because the anxiety knew it wasn't going to work. But it would let me play on this little corner in my brain, thinking I was going to find a solution when I was never going to find a solution using this tool. The past is a book. We can learn from it. We can't change it. That was a very important thing for me to learn. And it's still hard. I still play what ifs. Heck, they show up in my gaming videos sometimes. I love reading about alternative histories, at least when they're not involving me. So we do what we have to do to survive, and we do what we have to do to process our trauma. But we have to make sure that the processes that we're using for that trauma are working. And playing what ifs isn't going to. Just put that down. Talk to somebody who can help you get the tools you need to find a better solution. But that one isn't going to work. And it's liberating when you put it down. There's a weight that disappears. It is as though you are taking off a yoke and you're no longer burdened with it about your shoulders. It's not going to solve all your problems. You are not instantaneously going to have, an epiphany, but your progress forward will be a little easier. Now you can start looking for tools that are actually going to help you. Isn't that great? So yeah, I understand about the what ifs. I do. But they're not going to help you. They're just going to hold you back. Look for the things that you can do today that can help you tomorrow. And don't try to spend your time pondering about what the things that have already gone on. They're gone. They're done. They're a page in the book. And if they're recent, reading them probably isn't going to help you. You need a little space. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with deciding, I'm not going to process that right now. I'm not going to ignore it. I'm not going to shove it in a hole and never see it again. But it's okay that I give myself a little space. Lots of things in my life are not going quite as fast as I'd like. This room being clean, for example. I've done some work at it. Not enough. There are projects in the basement I haven't completed, but you know something? I know I will. Because some part of me is still trying to find a solution. Sometimes I come up with the really damn clever ones. So here's to really damn clever solutions. Let's look for them. Let's help each other find them. Let's talk to therapists and doctors and use the medications and the practices that we need so that we can come up with more really clever solutions. Wouldn't that be great?